The dark days for me lasted about 5 months. The craziest thing about those times is that I don't think anybody except for my husband knew exactly what was going on. I think that's where it all goes wrong. People talk about postpartum depression and anxiety, but they don't really talk about it. We either ignore it or sugarcoat it. Only hearing about the extreme cases, like the mother who left her family or took the lives of her children. But there's so much more in between that people don't talk about. Nobody told me that I have this intense biological reaction to giving birth, and that the way I was hardwired to think and feel would really never be the same again. I gave birth, went to the gym 2 weeks later, started my first company a few months later, started my next company after that a few months later, all while putting on a happy face and socializing with friends and family. But just because you see a successful entrepreneur who's functioning at a high level doesn't mean that things are perfect behind closed doors. I struggled. I really, truly struggled. I mourn the loss of my old life. I mourn the loss of my old body. At times, I really didn't like being a mother and felt like I had made a mistake. I loved working and I felt incredibly guilty about that. I spent more hours than I can count, curled up into a ball on the floor crying for no reason at all, just because I couldn't help it. No matter how hard I worked, I always felt the crushing feeling that I wasn't doing a good enough job and that I was failing at least one thing in my life all the time. I took everything out on my husband. My anger bubbled to the surface in every conversation for no reason at all. I actually started sweating and my heart would pulse and race every time the baby just cried. I worried about hurting my child, and I'd have to call my husband because I just didn't trust myself. I suddenly acutely understood how a mother could shake their child, and that terrified me. To top it all off, I had this crushing guilt and embarrassment for feeling all of these things that I had no control over. I didn't feel comfortable sharing my feelings with anybody. I thought I was failing, I was bad, and that I was the only one. No two women react to postpartum in the same way. It's a broad spectrum of emotions, and we obviously don't choose to feel the way that we do. But what do I know? I know that my feelings were normal. I know that my feelings were okay. I know that my thoughts and feelings were biological, and I had no control over them. I know that I made it out the other side, and now have a beautiful daughter who I would do anything in the world for. I know that I want my experience to make a difference. I know that I want to help other mothers who are dealing with a similar situation make it through and out the other side. What you're feeling is normal, it's biological, and it's okay. There's nothing to be ashamed of, and it will get better. I implore everyone to share this video, share your experience, and let's talk not only about the extreme cases of postpartum, but the broad spectrums of feelings, emotions, and situations in between that we all deal with.